Hi, my name is Maina, an advocate of the High Court of Kenya. Welcome to Sheria.
Hi, my name is Judy Ochollah, an advocate of the High Court of Kenya. Welcome to Sheria. Sheria is a platform that aims to educate the ordinary mwananchi about the law so that we can equip and empower you.
And today, we're going to deal with the topic of legal representation. That means the interactions between you and your advocate or whoever is representing you in a legal manner.
I think now you first need to start by understanding who is an advocate. So in Kenya, an advocate is considered one who is admitted to the role of advocates and has a current practicing certificate. This is because we are governed by the Advocates Act, the Advocates Practice Rules, and most importantly, overseen by the Law Society of Kenya.
Advocacy is a profession. Therefore, as she has said, we are governed by several laws, majorly the Advocates Act. Therefore, the Advocates Act provides that for us to be qualified to practice, we have to be admitted. As advocates, we have to be in the role of advocates, and we also have to have a current practicing certificate. That means if you're coming to me, you have to ensure that I have a practicing certificate for this year. I cannot practice legally in Kenya without having renewed or obtained my practicing certificate. So as a common mwananchi, how can you tell that this person is not only an advocate, but he's qualified to represent me in this legal matter? The first step is, of course, you can go to your search engine, whether Google or whichever search engine you use. You can go and write search advocates. And when you write search advocates, LSK will be among the results you get. So it will bring search advocate. You'll click on that link and you'll be able to write the name of that advocate, of course, the 3 names, and it will bring a result of whether that person is active. By active, I mean if they have a practicing certificate, if they're currently practicing. Whether they're inactive, that means they are qualified as an advocate, but they do not have an active practicing certificate. It will also show you whether they are suspended. That means they went through a disciplinary proceedings and they were suspended from active practice. It will also let you know if they were struck off from the role of advocate. It will also let you know whether they are deceased. And also finally, it will let you know if this person is unknown. Now, what you look out for, especially in situations of unknown, that means that this person is not recognized at all by the LSK. The LSK is the Law Society of Kenya. So the LSK has all the details pertaining our practice as advocates. So if this person is not recognized by the LSK, that means they are probably not an advocate. And if one is inactive, you should inquire as to why the status is such from that particular advocate. Maybe they can hurry up and get their practicing certificate, or sort whatever is not in order.
In addition to that, even after you've given your advocate work, usikae tu relax. You can actually follow up. As recent as of 2022-2023, even the judiciary has come up with measures to ensure that you are up to date with when, for example, your matter is coming to court, how it is coming to court, if it is being mentioned, if it is a hearing, etc. Secondly, you can also assist your advocate by bringing in the relevant documents. So if it is a matter, for example, if it is a criminal matter, ensure you bring all the relevant documents to assist your advocate with the case. You don't want a scenario where you're in court with your advocate and then the other counsel is producing evidence that is leaving you guys in shock. So you need to prepare, you need to be aware.
On that point, when it comes to, I feel like these are safeguarding principles for you as a client. When it comes to working with your advocate, I feel it's very important for you to be honest. Because sometimes all that blindsiding, it happens kwa sababu you didn't tell your advocate the truth. So hata yeye, the first time anasikia some of these things, it's in court. So you will have to approach your advocate with the aim of, this person, when I tell them everything, give them all the details, they'll be able to fight for me properly. As she has said, you can go to Kenya Law Reports. I think we talked about it in our previous episodes, where you'll find what we call cause list. In cause list, if your advocate has previously told you, or even you also know which court you have been before, which judge was dealing with your case, or which magistrate was dealing with your case, you can go, they give the date and the magistrate, and then the matter. So you can see if your case is coming up for mention, for ruling, or for judgment. The importance of this is sometimes your advocate may fail to appear in court. And there are many reasons why an advocate may fail to appear in court. One of them is maybe they didn't know that the matter was coming up. They also maybe are in another court when your matter is being mentioned. So if you're present, the matter will not be dismissed. You'll still have a chance to be heard. In the event you're not present and your advocate is not present, there are times that the court decides to dismiss the matter. This means you'll have to file again to apply for the court to allow you basically to bring back, to revive, to reinstate your case. And you see, the time is lapsing. And as we talked about this in the previous episodes, with courts, they have many matters to deal with. So yours won't get the priority simply because it was dismissed. So there's an importance of following up on your matters. You can even call your advocate and ask them, so how was the matter? I know it was a mention, and you'll see many times you're not asked to attend court for a mention. So how was the mention? How did it go? What's the next date that we're supposed to appear in court? One of the other problems we face, or rather you face as a client, is sometimes you come to court, especially when you're representing yourself. And this happens mostly in children matters and family matters. You lead with your emotions. At the end of the day, the court will follow what the law says. Particularly in children matters, people choose to forget that the important thing is the child. It's the whole basis or the whole principle or foundation of the children's court is to make sure that the best interest of the child is followed. Therefore, when you come with so many emotions, particularly maybe towards the other party, and words are exchanged and there is a whole episode, at the end of the day, if it does not serve the core principle of the court, it really does work against your case. So I would advise at all times, however emotional the situation is, whether it's family or children matters, especially those ones that go to the very core of you, I'd advise that you still try to manage those emotions and lead with the law and the facts that you have. And in that way, you'll have a better case. We also have an issue where people bring actions which, because of the limitations of Limitations of Actions Act, they cannot be brought to court. You cannot bring that action to court. For instance, although we'll deal with this in other episodes, for instance, an action that raises from a contract. That means ulikuwa na contract na mtu, and then you had a disagreement based on that contract. You have a limited time to go to court. Once those things go, that point when things go awry, you have that limited time, and that's usually 6 years. Of course, there are exceptions. However, those 6 years, that's the time you can bring that action to court. So sometimes you'll go to court na hauna kesi, unaona? And sometimes you might even approach a legal representative and they won't tell you. I told you, not everybody is out here for your benefit. Sometimes people do want to get your money. So by the time you get to a place where the case is being dismissed because this contract, it was executed however many years ago, the course of action rose however many years ago, you'll have used a lot of time, effort, and also remember, there's your health, your mental health, and also your emotional health. So those are some of the things we'd like to look out for.
Yeah, I think to bring this point home, and just in conclusion, we can say that you can also help your advocate, you can also help your court by ensuring you comply with court orders. Case in point, we have a land transaction, it has gone south, like she's mentioned, and then you have been given an injunction by the court, meaning you should not do anything to develop that property. Then you go behind your advocate's advice and behind the court orders, where when ndio unaenda unajenga wall to prove a point to other people. you are in contempt of court, you are destroying your case, you are destroying your evidence. So meaning, essentially, you are gearing towards losing. So you need to be aware, ensure you comply with court orders, especially where you want to be on the good side of the court because you want to win the case. Yes. And then eventually now I think we can bring into the final point of just summarizing the main role of an advocate. Like we mentioned earlier, the main role of an advocate is to represent you legally, but that is not to say you should take a backseat. Secondly, they're also supposed to represent you in other matters in court and also help you draft contracts. So they're bringing in the legal perspective because they understand the law more than you do. You are also allowed to help them in this matter. So again, we're encouraging you to be active, to help your advocate in as much as they're representing you. Don't take a backseat.
Exactly. And just to add on to that point, always be able to be cooperate. What we try to tell people is to cooperate in terms of if there are timelines that the court gives, So if they say you should have filed this by this time, please ensure you do so, especially if you're the one who has whatever document is supposed to be produced in court. So the advocate can only do so much. A whole lot of the success of your case depends on you. A big part of it depends on you as well. Not only on your advocate, it depends a lot on how you cooperate with your advocate and also with the court. I think with that we can close off this episode. Thank you for joining us at Sheria. Please remember to leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.